Hi guys and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a follow-up to my This Is Not Okay video that I released around a month ago. In that video, I discussed and exposed the racist and vile harassment I got for a good 6 months just because I drew myself as an anime character. I highly recommend that you watch that video for more context. The link will be in the description box down below as well as my pinned comment. I want to thank everyone so much for watching and sharing that video and for being so supportive after I spoke out. It really means the world to me to know that I'm not alone in all this and that I have a community backing me up when I'm being so unfairly attacked for nothing more than my skin color. In this video specifically, I'll be going over some of the responses I got after releasing my video exposing the disgustingly racist treatment I got for drawing myself as Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service. I'll also update you on the whole Instagram situation and Twitter's actions after I spoke out. Before we get into all that though, I really want to thank the sponsor of this video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform with thousands of inspiring classes ranging anywhere from graphic design to creative writing to photography to even illustration. I would recommend checking out their unlimited catalog of classes that include video lessons and class projects so you can make the best of your time by taking classes that fit your schedule and skill level straight from the comfort of your home. Skillshare offers you various different workshops where you can join your teacher and fellow students in learning a new skill with the support and feedback from the community. I'm currently working on improving my typography skills, especially in animations, which is why I took the class Level Up Your Typography, Creating Animated Stickers in After Effects by Manon Luart. I'm still so new to this kind of art, so having an experienced and a clear teacher like Manon really helped me to understand how to go about things while creating different types of typography. Another fun fact is that I'm actually a teacher on Skillshare as well, and I have 3 classes up from portrait drawing to anatomy. So if you like my art, please consider taking my classes. Skillshare is really affordable with their membership being less than $10 a month, so I highly recommend trying it. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of premium membership so you can explore your creativity without any ads or distractions. Thank you again Skillshare for sponsoring this video, especially with the kind of video that it is. It really means a lot, so shout out to Skillshare. This is going to be a lot yet again, but like I mentioned in my previous video, I highly recommend that all the allies watch this video from start to finish because it's so important for you guys to be aware of how Black creators are being mistreated in this community. If you're Black, however, I will give a huge trigger warning for racism, so please proceed with caution. Without any further ado, let's get into all of it. As I mentioned in my previous video on this situation, in October of 2020, I drew myself as Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service, which is a Studio Ghibli movie. Shortly after I tweeted out the artwork of myself as my favorite character, I started getting very racist and nasty DMs and messages on all of my social media platforms. I tried enduring it in silence for a time, but after dealing with them for a couple months, I finally decided to speak up about them on my Twitter and expose some of the more horrific DMs I got for simply drawing a self-insert on a show that's dear to me. The situation escalated to some taking my Kiki artwork and quote-unquote fixing it by drawing racist caricatures of it, all the while telling me to commit not living and calling me slurs among other insults. I of course spoke out about this on both my Twitter and Instagram account. This however made my situation 10 times worse because Instagram, rather than letting me speak out about the treatment I was getting as a Black creator, decided to give me 2 community guideline strikes for quote-unquote inciting hate speech, even though both of my posts were speaking directly against hate speech. They literally took down the post where I was advocating against the racist harassment I was being sent. Instagram didn't care about this though, and instead of taking down or deleting the slurs that some malicious accounts were spamming in my comment section, they decided to punish me for speaking out. Instagram silenced me by literally deleting my posts, spreading awareness of my situation, and proceeded to give me a warning that my account that I worked so hard to build would be permanently deleted, all because I spread awareness of how I was being treated as a Black artist. Out of everything that I was dealing with, from death threats to racist art fixings to slurs being spammed in my DMs and comments, Instagram silenced silencing me from standing up for myself definitely hurt the most. I put so much time and effort into building a community on their platform, so to know that they would take the side of the racist just put everything in a new perspective for me. I couldn't believe how outrageous my whole situation was, and to think that this all started from people getting offended that I, a black woman, drew myself into the show I loved just blows my mind every time. This is why I finally decided to make a video exposing it all, thanks to the encouragement of my family and friends. Shout out to Creepshow Art specifically for being so supportive and really giving me that extra encouragement that I needed to finally speak out on my channel. Her support has made such a huge difference for me, and I honestly love her for it. Thank you so much, Shannon, for being such a ray of sunshine for me when I was going through a hard time. This all brings us to today. After I put out my video, I was met with a huge tidal wave of backlash and resentment. I was also met with a lot of support, but I want to end this video on a positive note, so I'll get into the better things a little later on in this video. If we go over some of the more annoying stuff, I noticed that I got a lot of people dismissing my experiences with the racist harassment I was receiving because I chose to work with a sponsor that some didn't like. I got a plethora of comments saying, "So you make an amazing and powerful video, but you put a rage sponsor in it. All my respect for you is gone. I think it's weird that you're trying to talk about a serious subject, but in the middle of it you put a sponsor. Everyone here is dumb as F. Dumb as even sold out to Raid, LMFAO. What I don't understand is how me being sponsored by a game company dismisses, negates, or invalidates anything I said or showed in my video. I backed everything up with proof and showed the slurs and death threats that people send my way. So how exactly is me being sponsored negating any of that? It's one thing if you don't like the company I chose to work with, but if that's the case, you can always ignore or skip the ad if you don't vibe with it. But to sit there and say that me having a sponsor is somehow worse than literally being told to take my own life because of a drawing is absurd. You can criticize the fact that I chose to promote a game in a serious video, but at the end of the day, I'm the one that's being harassed and attacked. If I want to add a sponsor that supports me in a video where I share my experiences, then there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not exploiting anyone, and the product I chose to promote is a harmless game. I just find it interesting that some people were more outraged about the sponsor I chose to work with than the abundance of racist filth I exposed in my video. It just goes to show how people don't give a shit about black creators being targeted and harassed and are more concerned with irrelevant things that harm literally nobody. Heck, I'll make sure to get a sponsor for this video just to spite the idiots losing their minds over me getting it back, because God forbid I get compensated for making content. Anyway, moving on.
What? Child. Anyway, so
I also got an overwhelming amount of people trying to silence me because they simply can't or don't want to see or hear about the struggles black artists like myself have to deal with. I got very generic and racist or downright dismissive comments like these, which I also compiled into a thread on my Twitter. Yo, where do I join this racist congregation? This is so wrong. This is so bad. I hate it. Blah blah blah. Ignore him. It's that easy. You're not Kiki. Cosplay is done in photographs. So I don't know. Ignore him. LOL. It's a joke. You know what that is? White race is going extinct. The N-word isn't a slur. People are just sensitive. I don't really need to get into the details on why these comments are trash, but I do want you all to take note on the sheer amount of them that I received. And these aren't even all of them. There are plenty more that I got in my emails, DMs, tweets, and comments of people outright being racist, dismissive, or victim blaming. But that isn't the worst of it, because while these comments are horrible, I can recognize that they came from very hostile people who want to hurt me in some way, which makes it easier for me to just shrug them off. What really bothers me is the comments from people that call themselves my supporters that tell me that they don't like the way I speak about the racism I face, or they don't like how often I talk about the harassment that's still ongoing, by the way, and how I just need to close the internet and go touch some grass outside in order to escape from the racist harassment I'm getting online. What they don't understand is that racism is everywhere, and I'm more likely to get attacked touching grass outside while being black than if I were at home. You can't just turn racism on and off like a switch when you go outside, because you simply can't control the ideals of others and how they feel about your skin color. This is an example of one of the comments I got, and I want to read it as well as my response to it. After 6 months of racial harassment, just please do yourself a favor and quit social media for a while. Quit the Twitter, quit the Discord, quit the YouTube. I know it's hard, but there's so much more to the real world. Try to talk to your relatives or friends. Someday these digital weirdos will be bored and leave. Thank you for reading this message. And I responded, I know you mean well with this comment, but racism is literally inescapable for me. I face it in or outside of social media because of my skin color. There's nowhere I could possibly go to escape it, so I will just have to stay strong and deal with it somehow. Of course, I have my family and friends there to support and uplift me, and with everyone else's support too, I will be fine. But like I said before, leaving won't really make it go away or stop, which is why I will keep pushing through. I posted about this on my Twitter as well, but the Finnish equivalent for the N-word is literally etched into the walls of this country that I live in. And even if I go outside to the quote-unquote real world, I'm not suddenly immune or protected from racism. In fact, I'm met with discrimination and hatred based on my skin color, so these comments aren't as helpful as some might think they are. I mentioned this before, but the way I got so many people tone policing me and telling me how I should react to racism and harassment is so ridiculous. A couple that stood out said the following: I don't hate you for standing up for black people. Actually, I admire you. But watching your video, I see you as someone doing more of a complaining, whining, or asking for sympathy. I've seen stronger, more impactful video compared to this. Goddamn. I don't like racism, but LMAO, you're the one looking for troubles and blame others. Pathetic. Y'all still obsessing about this. Somebody said, shut up, Trinity. I feel like you're just fueling the fire. As much as I want you to come back stronger than ever, I feel like you should probably be a bit more quiet with this kind of fan art. The racism towards Tumin ain't that bad. It's a little too stupid to take seriously. Stop acting. Nobody believes you. Stop feeling like you're special. That's what bothers people. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother reading this one, so let me just... There were a huge chunk of these types of comments, DMs, and messages, but we would be here all day if I went through every single one of them. Point is that people really love pushing the blame on me rather than the weirdos being blatantly racist. Like the fact that you have people literally saying, stop acting is not that bad, when I've shown the types of DMs and comments I get is actually mind-numbing. I even had someone say to me that I was experiencing quote-unquote karma because I made a video explaining why I think blackwashing is okay due to imbalance in representation. And to that, I'll just read out my response on Twitter because I can't be bothered to respond to it again. Someone said me getting racist slurs thrown my way is quote-unquote karma for sharing my opinions on whitewashing and blackwashing, and I find this stupid beyond belief. Apparently, it's a crime to have an opinion to the point of people trying to justify blatant racism. Whatever my opinions may be on that topic, at the end of the day, I did not quote-unquote fix or quote-unquote blackwash anyone. I made a self-insert and drew myself as the character. It's a form of art cosplay, if you will. I don't get why people are reaching so hard to try and justify something that's just fucked up. I had someone tell me that I quote attract hate because I keep focusing on the bad, end quote. But when you're being constantly bombarded and bullied for nothing more than your skin color, I have no other choice but to defend my existence and shed light on the unfair treatment I'm getting due to my identity. Like I said on Twitter, me showing the racist shit people send my way isn't quote focusing on the bad, it's spreading awareness. Being quiet never helped before, and it's not gonna start doing that today. I won't stop sharing my experiences just because you're tired of seeing me talk about the foul things black creators have to deal with. More recently, there was a gacha YouTuber that really wanted to get attention for being racist and decided that harassing and pestering me and other black creators would be their big break, which sure, I guess it is now that I'm bringing them up, but they made a video called Reasons to Unsubscribe from Tumin, and the first reason was, yeah, this video existed. It was a thing that happened. I tweeted about it because of how stupid it was, and in a couple of hours they made a response to my tweet saying, just accept proper criticism and the truth, it hurts sure, but just accept it, goddamn. Which is funny because I never knew calling someone a slur was a form of criticism, but whatever you say. This person didn't end there, however, and decided to continue pestering me in my DMs and comments. They even made this, which is interesting, but I just find it bizarre how this channel is still able to be allowed on YouTube when they are so blatantly targeting and harassing black creators. I personally don't give two shits about them other than finding them ridiculous, but I can't imagine how the smaller channels channels that they keep going after might feel. So if you guys could do me a favor, please report their account to YouTube for bullying and harassment. I do have to warn you to not interact with this person or join their Discord because they seem to be doxing people who interact with them. They have doxed a minor already in their Discord, so please do not join it and do not talk to them. If you possibly can, just quietly report them and move on, as to not give them any satisfaction of getting a rise out of you. In another interesting case, there was one user that told me that my Kiki artwork sucked because it was quote-unquote too European. Turns out they were just racist, but what makes it funny is that they weren't just any kind of racist. They were a Nazi diaper fetish racist, which is hilarious to me. The fact that they were out here drawing Hitler in a full diaper while critiquing me just sends me every time. If this is a troll, I have to give them applause because goddamn. If you want to see all the crazy stuff that I didn't include in this video, I highly recommend you follow me on Twitter because I share most of the mess there. We kiki about these ridiculous weirdos that keep coming after me, so if you want to be there, you definitely should hop onto my Twitter and follow on there. Obviously, I can't share them on Instagram because my account is being deleted, so Twitter it is. As for the future, I'll keep speaking about the discriminatory stuff people bombard me with when and how I want to. The fact that this all started in October of last year because I drew myself as a fictional character and it's still going on at May is crazy to me. It doesn't really seem like the harassment will be stopping anytime soon, as I recently got wind of a group that's plotting to draw lewds of my persona without my consent. I also saw a thread on a forum discussing ways to assault me in real life, which makes me question if doing this is really worth it. But as I'll get to soon, it's thanks to you guys backing me up and supporting me that I'm still here doing what I'm doing, despite it feeling like a constant uphill fight. I really hope that with me sharing all this, it can be a wake-up call for everyone on how badly and inhumanely Black creators are being treated on YouTube and in general online. I wish bigger news channels or anyone with a larger reach could shed light on all this, because I don't think enough people know about the constant targeting that Black and POC creators have to face on YouTube and other platforms. It's an important conversation that needs to be had so that YouTube themselves can put in place ways to protect creators from all this. Same with Instagram. They literally silenced me from speaking up about the racism I was facing, yet they aren't being held accountable at all because not many even know about what happened. Speaking of Instagram, let's get into the weird stuff that went on with them, as well as the more positive things that came out of this whole situation in the next part of this video. If I were to update you on Instagram's actions after my video came out, something very peculiar happened. I noticed that the post that Instagram deleted appeared back on my account without any warnings, emails, or notifications. They quietly reinstated both of my posts, which were wrongly removed. For some reason, I still had the strikes on my account. I also never got any update of the post being reinstated. To this day, I'm confused as to what's going on. Also, since the posts were reinstated, why not remove the strikes on my account? It's still in danger of being deleted and the strikes are obviously wrongly given. I have so many questions, but with Instagram not communicating at all, I'm sat here with nothing more than 2 strikes on my account on 2 posts that were now reinstated. Due to this, I decided to archive both of those posts because I don't want them to get mass reported again and taken down. As for Twitter, it suspended some of the accounts I featured on my video, which is good. But unfortunately, the racists keep making new accounts constantly, so it's hard to keep up with that. I guess on Twitter's end, it's fine. They're doing their job, is what I'm saying. Another fun fact is that a French publication made an article going over my situation, which was nice to see as I got so many French supporters coming over from that article, sending me positive and lovely vibes, so thank you so much for that. I also noticed that many of you used your platforms to spread awareness of my situation, which I deeply appreciate. With more people knowing about what's going on, this type of behavior can be combated properly. But if people aren't even aware of the unfair harassment that many BIPOC creators are having to deal with, then how can anything be done about it? That's why it's so important for us to use our platforms to spread awareness so that more people can be aware of what's going on and so that we can combat this discrimination discrimination together. I want to thank all the people who left encouraging comments and messages, as well as made any kind of fun art for me. When I was feeling the worst, just seeing those encouraging comments and DMs and just seeing the amazing art you guys drew me really made me feel loved and uplifted. Words can't explain how thankful I am for all of you. So thank you so much for showing kindness to me when I really needed it. To everyone who supported me on Ko-fi, Patreon, or bought my merch, I want to give an extra thank you to you from the bottom of my heart. You guys really proved to me that there's more kind-hearted, supportive, and lovely people in this planet than the nasty gremlins that are nothing more than loud. You guys really restored my faith into humanity and showed me that there are so many angels out there that truly have my back when I needed it the most. Another great thing is that for the first time ever, I feel heard, I feel supported, and most of all, I feel like I'm a part of a great community that will be there for me. You guys did that. You spread my video around and got it to over 500,000 views. You guys suspended those accounts by avidly reporting the racists, and you guys proved to me that positivity can always outweigh the negativity. Thanks to you all, I don't see the racism as frequently as before because you have drowned my DMs with love and positivity. When I was going through all this alone, I didn't think anyone would care about what I was going through. But now that I've seen that you all do care, I wish I could go back in time and had spoken up earlier. I don't feel alone in all of this anymore, and it's all thanks to you guys. For that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, truly. This whole situation has been a roller coaster of emotions, and I learned so much from it. I learned that there can be so many horrific people out there wanting nothing more than for you to be hurt. I also learned that there are 10 times more amazing and supportive individuals that want nothing more than for you to be okay and love you. It's been hard dealing with everything, but with everyone's kindness and support, it's been somewhat bearable. If I could wish for anything more, it would be that more people knew of what's going on and for us to keep this dialogue ongoing. It's so important for people to keep speaking up, for people to use their platforms, and for people to make sure that everyone knows that this kind of treatment is going on in this community. And only when people know can something be done about it. I saw so many people in my comments saying that they had no idea that this is what Black creators were having to deal with because they don't follow that many Black creators in my field. I urge you to go support and follow your fellow Black creators. That all being said, if you guys want to direct your support to me, I ask that you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment for the algorithm so this could reach more people, and please share this video as much as you possibly can. If you want to support me further, please consider sending me a coffee, becoming a patron, or buying my merch, which includes the art from this video with me and my bestie Kiki. My merch shop also has this Black Lives Matter artwork as well as the original Kiki drawing that started all of this madness. All the links will be in the description as usual. I have also opened up channel memberships, and I made cool custom emotes for you guys to use in premiere chats or future live streams. So if you're interested in that, please consider joining. There should be a join button next to my username on YouTube, so if you press it, you can join it that way. I want to thank all my lovely patrons for being my superheroes. Thank you Inola, Neptune, Semi Specials, Nico D'Angelo, Crystal, Chainsaw134, Jillian, JJ, Adam Quentin Colley, Sebastian Lurking, Ghoul Wrangler, Fancy Man, Isabel, Shady Junks, Vic Abrantes, Ashley Lee, Lady Kimono, Jeria Sun, Min McGlon, Julia Hain, Breer T, Glitchy Garbage, and a special thank you goes to Shannon from Creepshow Art, as well as Adrian Charles Cone. I also want to thank my channel members Lady Kimono, Cloudy Coffees, Garnet Eledger, Queen Britters Creates. You guys are lifesavers and literally amazing. Thank you so much for the support, it means everything to me. Hopefully with more people knowing about how Black creators are being treated, we can work on creating a more inclusive space for BIPOC creators, and we can start weeding out the bad apples one by one. Please support your fellow Black creators because they are probably dealing with a whole lot of racism, but they might not be as vocal about it as I am. Thanks for watching. Bye.